All right, y'all, what's up, everybody? Just a big bruh to everybody out there today. Happy Saturday and welcome to day 93 of the income stream. Today, we're going to do website, sales page, and YouTube channel reviews. It's going to be at random. If you want to submit your real estate for review, just pop into patflynn.com/review. I have a number in the queue already, and I'm going to select some at random again today. So if you're watching the replay, thanks so much. You're going to learn a lot by watching other people's reviews. I break it down so we can bring it back up. Let's enjoy the show. Thanks everybody for being here, and welcome.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right, like I said, day 93. Today's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm just gonna dive right into it because these website reviews are really important. In fact, there's been a number of people here who have taken just even small bits and pieces of advice that I've offered to people who've been on the chopping block before and have already seen results. Results being more web traffic, more time on the site, more customers, more subscribers. All this kind of stuff can be possible, but it's awesome to learn from people, and I very much appreciate for those of you who submit. Thank you for putting yourself at risk so that you can get sort of, like I said, broken down and then brought back up. So here's what we are looking for today. So this is the key. 5 things I'm looking for. Number 1, does the website or YouTube channel or whatever, does it tell me who this is for and what's in it for me, right? The most important thing, we who are online, searching around, spending time, we have a billion options. When we land somewhere, we need to know, hey, how is this going to help me? Who is it for and how is it going to help? That's the most important thing. Number 2, are you helping me know what to do first, right? Websites can often be very overwhelming, especially blogs. Think of blogs. It's just like, hundreds of articles that have been written over time, and we just don't even know where to begin. Usually the last or latest post isn't often the place where we should start. Thirdly, let's see here. How am I connecting to you versus others? So what's unique about your stuff? How are you going to convince me to stick around? How are you different than others? That's important. Number 4, non-essentials and distractions. What are you showing me that you don't need to show me? A lot of times we take advice from elsewhere because things work for one person and we implement it, and it can actually be a distraction. Think about pop-ups, think about auto-playing videos, think about music that plays as soon as you land on a website. These are things that typically we don't like or are not best practices in the world of online real estate. And number 5, branding and design. I want to see something that allows me to, just notice how you are putting everything together, and perhaps also how you might use that branding on other places, or how can I get this feel of who you are and what you represent without having to read. So these are cool things that we need to look forward to. And I'm very thankful that you're here. So chat, if you're live with me today, let me know if you're excited. Hook me up with a thumbs up if you can. For those of you who offer, there's actually 1 thumbs down. I hope you have a better day. I appreciate you for being here anyway. You're still helping with the algorithm, right? Which is cool. So thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter. You're still helping out. I appreciate you. However, if you do have some excitement built up in you for this, hook me up with a thumbs up. And we're going to get started. So let's go to our first person on the chopping block, and that is Nathan J. Vaughn. Nathan, I hope you're in the chat today. If not, no worries. But Nathan's website, I popped it up here, and there's a pop-up that showed up right away. However, look at this pop-up. Oftentimes, pop-ups, without having to know what this is about, are bad. But this is one of those cases where it kind of makes sense because let's read this. COVID Stories Podcast, launching July 2020, raising the voices of everyday people whose jobs have been affected by COVID-19 pandemic. Be the first to know when the first 3 episodes are live. Sign up here. Now this is cool because likely this hasn't even been launched yet, right? This website. I'm going to click out of this and read a little bit further, which is pretty cool. But very nice that you're letting me know about something that's coming, and I could subscribe to get first access to the first 3 episodes when they are live. That's really cool. I would say, however, that let's add 1 more sentence about, well, why should I subscribe? Right? I think it's, yes, a little bit inferred. You're going to hear these stories, and that in and of itself is interesting. But how might it affect me? Am I going to learn how people are getting out of it, how to feel like we're not alone, how to help people in this situation, right? That would be the only thing left. And also, if you had the ability to include your artwork here, your artwork might already be available. Pop it in here, because that way we can connect that artwork to when we see it later, when we see the emails come through, when we see it on Apple or Spotify or Stitcher or what have you. And that would be all I would ask for during that time. I'm going to click out of here, and I see a nice image of you looking up. I always look for, if a person is not looking at me, the user or the viewer, your eyes act like an arrow. Whatever you're looking at, like the eyes, the nose, it is indeed an arrow. So where is it pointing to? And oftentimes it's like pointing away or outside of the website or at some direction that you don't want. This actually works because you're looking up to the meet, listen, and collaborate. Now, there is an opportunity for you to have some sort of text or something, because literally the only 4, 5, 6 things I see are Nathan J. Vaughn, meet, listen, collaborate, contact, and that's it. Some sort of tagline, some sort of, positioning, some sort of statement would at least help you out, and the opportunity to have a person email you with a button could help too. Let me scroll down a little bit. Southern by birth, New England by training. I'm a nonprofit professional and podcast producer. Passion is collecting and sharing yarns and tales. I like the personality. I can feel you. I like that. I believe in the power of storytelling. Together, we can change the world by opening ourselves up to the stories of others and sharing our own experience in turn. In that spirit, here's a short story about the day I moved to Boston. Cool. This is the first part where you've gotten me excited about working with you or learning from you. Together, we can change the world, right? So this is the first time you've brought me into the situation. So far, it's only been about you. So we could pull the opportunity to work together sooner. You have a quick little story here. Have an experience you'd like to share. Record your 90-second story today. I like that you're using SpeakPipe. That's a tool that I highly recommend if you want to collect these voice messages. I'm not necessarily sure that this is specific enough for me to understand what you want to know about, right? I think that what would help here, if you want to collect these voicemails, these recordings to pop into your podcast, a little bit of a description on what you're looking for would be cool, right? Tell me what your challenges were, what your objections were, and how you got through that. And again, helping me understand in this area why this is important is really key, right? Is really key. So by clicking record and sending your audio, you're helping others learn from the journey that you've already had. Now I have a reason, right? There's almost a spotlight on me now as a result of that, which is pretty cool. Let's correspond. Cool. Let's see. Is there an about area? No. You kind of talk about yourself a little bit. COVID stories. This is coming soon, right? Hey, there's your artwork. Sharing stories of, I like the little COVID virus thing in the background. Sharing stories of everyday people facing employment. Listen now. So listen now. So that that pop-up told me, okay, doesn't have any podcasts yet. Okay, so the last thing I would say is 2 things. Number 1, collect emails here because there's nothing to listen to right now. Or have people subscribe and maybe they can come in later. But this is a dead end right now. We don't want a dead end. And number 2, the other thing I was going to say is, hold on. What was I going to say? Oh, open up in a new tab, right? As you can see, I'm here. I want to listen. COVID stories. Boom. Now this is a dead end versus opening up a new page. If this was something that had an audio file already or something to listen to, yeah, I think opening on the same page would work. But because it's separate and because it's a dead end, we don't want to have people come to this page, have a bad experience, and then leave, right? The last thing I'll say is if you had an audio clip that we could play to listen to get me excited about subscribing, that could work very well too. But congratulations, Nathan. That's awesome. Let us know if you're in the chat right now when the podcast is going to come out, and I think that's really cool. I think that's a great and wonderful thing that you're doing to collect those stories and highlight those so that we can all learn from that situation, which is really cool. Cool. Let's go to who's coming next. All right, we're going to go to Saisha. What's up, Saisha? Great to see you here. This is another podcast-looking website. So just a little bit of life. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our website. This is a platform through which you can access our daily updates and send us feedback for our podcast series, Just a Little Bit of Life. You can also find all of our podcast episodes here. Okay, cool. So this is a podcast-related website. I'm feeling a little bit disconnected from who you are or what this is about because it is very bare bones. And the artwork itself, I was hoping that it would at least describe a little bit about what the show is about. But if you describe for me what the show is about here, even just in a little bit of time, right, that would help me go, oh, okay, this is a podcast I want to dig deeper into. Right now, it seems like it's only a placeholder for people who may have already found the podcast who can come back here, in which case there isn't really that much added value here to come to the website. You're not collecting emails, you're not offering any lead magnets or anything like that. It's just a short little page. Probably not going to spend too much time on this other than how do you want to use this page and how are you supporting that? Is this really just a business card online? And if that's the case, well, we need to talk a little bit more about what this is about and where people can subscribe. So important here, I'm going to click on our episodes. All of our episodes you can find on Spotify under the name Just a Little Bit of Life. I think that we really need to have a logo of Spotify and all the other platforms as well. It's really important for a podcaster to know that you can't choose where a person's going to listen to your show. You can't choose that. Forcing people to go to one area is not the right, or it's not the best practice, in fact. You have to be sort of a Joe Rogan to force people to go to Spotify, right, if that makes sense. However, just some links or some clickable items or buttons to go to listen and subscribe on Apple, listen and subscribe on Stitcher, Spotify, CastBox, Overcast, all the other places. Makes sense. Let's go to one of these episodes, by the way. What's up, Jonathan? Glad you're here. Kathy says, the words welcome to our website are not helpful and out of style to say. Yeah, I would agree with that as well. It looks like you're on Anchor too. And again, you're driving people away from your website to Anchor. So it's almost like, well, we need to figure out what the reason is. What's the why behind the website? What do you want it to accomplish? I would say that the best thing, if you had to choose one thing, would be to have yourself be able to collect email addresses. So if you could include some sort of mechanism to collect emails so that people who listen to your show, or even if they don't, they could subscribe and you can now have a connection to them, that would be really great. And these links took me away from your website. So it just seems like it's not as important as you want it to be, Saisha. I think you're doing a great job on the show, and it's great that you have episodes up and running already. But let's take it a step further and consider the website a place where you can build a deeper relationship with your audience, both through email and an about area. Let's see the about area. Yeah, cool. So you do show up, and that's pretty awesome. And Kel, studying 7th grade. So great. And you're a kid. Guess what? You're doing so good, so much better than others, but there's still opportunities for you to grow. This is perfect because when you're younger, you have time on your side, and you can use these opportunities to grow faster and outpace a lot of the adults out there that are doing a lot of this stuff too. So I think that it's so special that you are in the 7th grade, and I had to click on the About Us area to find that out. I think that having that and having a picture of you and having that being shared here would be really, really amazing. In fact, here on the homepage, hi, I'm Ankel. I'm in 7th grade, and I created this podcast so that X, Y, and Z. I hope that you enjoy it because my goal is to 1, 2, 3, click here to subscribe to the podcast. Now I'm like, oh, use the fact that you're only in the 7th grade to your advantage, and that's going to attract a lot of people for sure, and get them excited and want to help support, right? People love to support those who are young, who are starting out, and I would use that to your advantage. Love the artwork. I think it could be blown up a little bit bigger. There's a lot of negative space or white space there, but you're doing an excellent job, and so keep up the good work. Hopefully these tips help you. Remember, why are we using the website? Try to build a relationship with your audience, and what is that first experience like? But great job. I think that's wonderful. All right. Hi, chat. How are you doing, by the way? We got Destiny Show in the house. What's up? Paximus. This is great that she was doing a podcast. Lou, 7th grade. That's awesome. Says living joyful and well. We got Jess Sampson in the house. We got Bernard. We got Elton. So many great people. That's awesome. Destiny says, where on the website would you recommend placing the email opt-in forms? Someplace above the fold. I don't want to have to scroll down to be able to build and learn and get something perhaps in exchange for that, which is cool. But wonderful job. By the way, Destiny Show's been helping out me and my son on Twitch. Amazing and incredible resource and super helpful. Thank you so much for all that you're doing for us. All right, let's go to Mark. Mark is somebody who has a sales page that I want to review, as well as a YouTube channel. So let's review a couple of these things. Oh no, he has a website and a sales page, excuse me, not a YouTube channel. But let's go to first his website, and then we're going to see what the experience is like to get to the sales page and go from there. So, family raised bed garden guide. The first thing that stands out, honestly, is just the text here in the middle area is not centered, and it's just super, I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it just kind of does, right? If there was an image here on the left-hand side that was sort of like, it made sense, I think that would make sense to have the text sort of justified to the right-hand side. But if you can center that, that'd be great. Also, it looks like the text is kind of hidden behind something. I don't know. It seems a little darker than it should be. I think that could pop out a little bit more because this is such an important thing. I think you're doing a great job of, without a pop-up, going, hey, here's something that I can offer for you. And as you can see, the name and email area is here. I like how you have the button that says, yes, give me access. Family raised bed garden guide. I think this is a huge thing right now. Gardening has been a trend that if you've checked out Google Trends recently, which to just see, hey, what's hot right now. So check this out. Gardening. Explosion. An absolute explosion right now. It's coming down a little bit, but it's coming back up for the summer. But it's been something that's been huge right now during the pandemic. Let's also compare, actually let's search, what is this called? Family raised bed garden. So like bed garden or raised bed garden. Yep, look at that. Same thing, right? Same thing. So let's take advantage of that right now. Let's make sure that we have the best experience for people who are here. Nathan, thank you so much. And great that you caught this live so we can help you out. All right. Remember when I was saying like, hey, where do we start after all this, right? This likely has a blog. If I go to the blog, it's probably going to have like millions of blog posts, right? Awesome. This is great. But like I said, like how can you guide me at the start? Look at this. Start simple. The first year, right? I would even have this be something that maybe it says, no, this is good. This is good. I was going to say like maybe it's highlighted or a different color or something, but I think it's fine. Homegrown food for beginners, the first year. Imagine picking up a bowl full of lettuce, a few tomatoes, cucumbers, green onions, and radishes, and making a healthy homegrown salad. Or picking, I think that I like this idea of like helping people imagine something, but I think we could take this one step further, right? Maybe we can have a garden, right? Because this is homegrown food, and you're showing this bowl, which is great. But like I can get a bowl at the grocery store, right? But if it was like, imagine going to your garden and grabbing lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber, like paint that picture a little bit more. I like that you started that. Let's take it full on and have an image that represents the home bed garden and what we're gonna eventually get people to do and grow, right? So maybe something like take just pictures of your hands picking the tomato that you were describing the story. Whenever you can actually have pictures that describe the story spot on, that can go a really, really long way. I like this one here too, picking a few strawberries. It's not quite a far-fetched dream. It is possible even if you've never grown anything before. So let's see. Cool, you have this YouTube channel. Now I was looking for, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. You do a pretty good job of outlining this, right? So the first thing is start small but with big impact with a salad container garden, right? Easiest way to get started with a salad container garden. It's compact, self-contained, and then you have a video there. Let's play this really quick.
Hi everyone, it's Mark.
By the way, kudos to you for wearing a ConvertKit shirt. Has nothing to do with gardening, but for me, that's really cool.
From Tranquil Garden Urban Homestead. Today in my video, I'm going to show you how to make this salad container garden. A very easy project, really would take you maybe at most 15 minutes to do once you have everything together that you need. And this is a great way to get started with gardening, growing a few vegetables. You can do this on a balcony, you can do this on a deck or a patio if you don't have a backyard or you can't use your backyard, if you're renting, for instance, a suite in a house. And
cool. Not bad. I would give that probably an A- in terms of a hook for a video. Really good because you're showing me what I'm going to be doing. You're telling me how easy it is, and you're providing context, right? And so I love that. The only thing that's missing is what is the result going to be on the other end? I want to see in these videos, right, especially for something like gardening, I want to see this like before, like, hey, I'm going to help you grow this, and this it looks a little dinky, right? Because the lettuce leaves are just growing, right? I want to see, hey, I'm going to teach you how to create something like this. Boom, and it's like full lettuce. You pick it, you eat it. Oh my gosh, so good. Now I'm like intrigued because I'm imagining the other end of this. Maybe you just didn't have access to that during this time, by the way. But maybe you could also include, if you don't have access to that, you can include some B-roll, right, of just the final version of what that might look like. And then the other thing, and this was funny because Margaret here said, I kill plants, I don't grow them, right? And I think that this is something that you have to pay attention to when it comes to gardening. A lot of people are afraid to do this because they don't want to waste their time and they don't want to waste their money. So addressing that head on in your videos, in your sales page here, I think is really key, right? How are you helping me understand that I, as somebody who has a very not a green thumb, will still be able to do this, right? That's like this is what's called tackling the objections, like legit head on. If you're helping people do something, help them understand that you know what's going through their head and you have something to combat that, right? So in this case, it's, hey, you might not just believe that you've done this before, or you might not believe, maybe you've raised plants and killed them before. And I'm going to help you through this process, understand how to make sure you don't do that. Maybe you've never done this before and you're worried about overwatering or, planting the seeds too close together. Hey, don't worry. In this process, I'm going to teach you step by step exactly what to do, right? So show the results in the beginning of the video that let us know what is possible. Describe these objections really quickly so that we know that you know exactly where I'm at. Now I'm connected to you. Now I'm going to go to you as the guide to help me avoid those little mistakes, if that makes sense. Which is really cool. So that's good. Let's keep going here. Let's check out your membership. By the way, I didn't mention, this is kind of one of the first times I didn't mention the homepage in terms of like, hey, how you're hooking me in. With what it is that you're teaching and what it is that you're talking about, it's very obvious. I think you do a great job of that. And it is there is a lot of noise here, I will say. There's a lot of things to click on. There's a lot of text. There's a lot, like there's this area that's orange up here. There's this logo. There's this here. It is a little noisy, but it's not hurting you too bad. And let's see, homegrown food. Okay, cool. Read the latest articles, which is great. Love, there's a picture of you. What's up, Mark? Here's what my readers are saying. Testimonials. Yeah, you're doing an excellent job. Let's keep up the good work. Now, let's talk about the membership. Homegrown food from seed to table. Grow your family's food garden without the struggle and overwhelm of doing it by yourself. Cool. You tackle a little bit of the objections there. Parentheses, even if you've never planted anything before, even if you think you're terrible at growing plants, right? Or something that, again, can get right into the objection. The other thing about this is the struggle with this is it's going to take time, right? Which is why I think there's a key to having a membership here, right? It's going to take some time and hand-holding versus like an online course, right? So I think that that's cool. Join today. Let's scroll down. Have you ever imagined? Cool. Maybe you've tried this. I think that you have an opportunity to include an image during these 3 different sections. I like how you have the 3 different sections there because it makes it very easy for me to scroll through and my eye has a good experience. But an image, maybe justified to the right-hand side on one of these things related to growing plants. Oh, here you go. Here are the objections. And maybe you've tried your hand at growing plants, but you've tried to find free information, but the right answers to your questions, your plants are dead. You've tried those food growing hacks they show on YouTube or social media. I love that. You're doing a good job there. Seed to table, join now. You have your family there. These are good images, by the way. Meet your membership host. Join now. Okay, the last thing I want to know is testimonials. I want to see testimonials. Great, perfect. Video testimonials will be the next step. Okay, so 2 months free. I think that should be blown up a little bit more, or have just be, so the savings, right? People love to save money. So showing that a little bit more, I almost missed that. It's very small here, 2 months free. That's, nearly $50 off, which is cool. Let's see. FAQs. I think that this looks like a teachable website, right? Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. But I think you're doing a great job. Okay, choose a plan. So this is weird that it took me to this like separate sales page. Wait, let me go back. That was a weird experience. Okay, so I'm here. I want to join. Boom. Okay. let me go back. What if I chose one of those plans first? So click, I'm gonna choose the annual plan. What happens? Create an account. Okay, interesting. Okay, so you're on Mighty Networks. Oh, if I choose this one. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Like setting up an account before I pay for anything is a friction item, right? It's something that's gonna hold people back. It's something that's going to be an additional step that should be, if possible, for something after. I need you to focus a little bit more because imagine I'm excited. Now I go to this page. Now I'm a little taken aback. I don't know if I'm signing up for the right thing. I don't have any context. I don't have any text that shows me what I'm getting into or what I'm going to get. If you have the possibility for me to see even just an outline or a description of what I saw here, if I saw the same bullet points here over here, this is going to be a much better experience, right? Or if I understand that this is like the first step of 3, that's going to be really interesting. I don't know if that's the best process. I liked the other process better where I clicked to join. Let's see if that's different. Click to join. Now I choose a plan, subscribe annually. Yeah, that's going to be a big, you're going to have a lot of people drop off during that time. So you got to be careful. And I would, if any of you are watching this right now, and if you have things for sale, put yourself in the same seat as your customer and just be like, okay, where am I confused during this process? Number one, where is there friction during this process? What's kind of taking a while to do? And number 3, see if things are in order or out of order, right? So that's the only thing, Mark. I'm so glad we found that because everything else you're doing is excellent. You have your YouTube channel as well, which is good. So keep up the good work, but that's what I would focus on. The experience that people have through the purchasing process. Oftentimes we focus so much on the website and on the experience on social media that when it finally comes time to interact and actually engage with your subscriber in a customer sense, that experience doesn't get thought about. And we just think that just throwing up a button or a sales page is going to work. So consider that experience and see if there's a way, and look at other Mighty Network websites to see how they handle it, because that is that's a big deal. That's a huge deal, Mark. So I'm glad we caught that for you. Cool. Let me know in the chat if this is helpful so far. What's been the number one thing that you've taken away thus far from watching? Thank you to the 100 people who are watching live with us today. How are you feeling? How you feeling? All right, scrolling up and down here, we're gonna go to, cool, let's do a YouTube channel. This is Christy's YouTube channel. What's up, Christy? Thank you so much for allowing me to review your YouTube channel. Looks like you're a graphic designer. I like the skateboard logo. That's pretty cool. You've done the first step of not having the default or generic channel page. You have some artwork there. You have a logo. You have 100 subscribers. That's excellent. Let's try to get to 1,000. But a few things right off the bat. Number one, your artwork could be a little bit more helpful to me as a brand new viewer about what is it that you do? What is it that I get here? What's your tagline? What kinds of things can I look forward to in the videos that are here, right? Jonathan, I think that would help for sure, but I think that, again, you can't expect a person to hold information from before as they go through. We want to have the information that you want to show, like on the page that they're on. Hey, Archer, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. So let's keep going here. Artwork. We need to do some work to help people understand, like text. You can even mention graphilicious, or I said graphicious. I was just gonna say graphilicious. Graphicious. That's kind of hard to say, in fact, but that's okay. Artwork. What are we gonna get? What kinds of videos are here? Are they tutorials? Are they lessons? Are you here to help graphic designers? Are you here to help motion designers? Are you here to help people design their own stuff? I'm not quite sure exactly who this is for, which is the number one thing on, well, what we want out of this, right? What do we want? We want to know who this is for and why am I here, right? So that's number one. Number two, I think that having a welcome video is really important. When you design your channel, you can include a video, actually 2 separate videos, one specifically for brand new visitors and one for people who have come back from before. And having a video up there perhaps to explain a little bit more, or maybe even your most popular video that really displays your talent, your artwork is really great because check it out. You're displaying, I mean, I love that you're probably doing a better job than most with playlists and having your playlist there. You can actually Camtasia for beginners, that's cool. Web design, development, hosting, a quick win, 4D graphics, cool. I like how you have separated out the different bits of your channel. That you're doing a really good job about, but you're throwing me right into the deep end of all your stuff. How can you guide me here through a video or some sort of welcome message, or even through the artwork? Again, the artwork, the channel art is absolutely important, right? Fun Will Now Commence says, I thought it was Graphalicious also. Yeah, that's interesting. So let's watch one of these videos, in fact. Let me go to videos. So 2 things I want to do. See what your most popular videos are and see how consistent you've been over time. You are being very consistent, which is really great. Pay attention to the videos that seem to get more views than others. And it looks like a lot of your Camtasia videos are getting more views than anything else, which is great. That's a great sign. Look at 100 views, 67 views, 57 views versus the other ones. I think your thumbnails are really good. You're doing an excellent job on that. Let's see what your most popular video is. I'm just curious. Yeah, again, a Camtasia video, ConvertKit, which is cool. And I saw that you have them laid out nicely on your homepage there. So I want to go to a recent video and see how you're hooking me into that video, right? This is the other thing. So let's see if there's something that I can get into. So let's go to your Camtasia ones because I know that's been working really well for you. Export multiple clips from the same project. So there's a very much a tutorial-based situation here. There's very much, John, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's see. An example that, so anyway, what I was going to say is let's just click and watch this video and listen for the hook.
Hello, this is Christy. In today's video, we will look at how you can save multiple files, multiple export files from a single project all at once, all automatically in Camtasia. So I have a blank project here. I'm going to just demonstrate using some simple ideas. So
okay, you got straight into it, which is great because remember, people who are probably finding this are either finding it through your tutorial playlist or through search, right? So you just went right into it, and I think that's excellent. The only other thing that you can do to enhance this a little bit more would be to have something in the first, because you spoke for, let's see, you spoke for about 14 seconds before something moved on the screen. You could do 2 things. Number 1, you could just move your cursor around to show that this is not just a blank or a still image. So moving the cursor around or having something interesting on the screen that moves, whether it's within Camtasia itself, like an example of what it is that you're talking about, which in this case probably there isn't because it's just a how-to about doing something. Or you could have text pop up on the screen like a lightbox effect where you show exactly how to export multiple clips from the same project. And just having the text pop up at the screen when you say that, again, a little bit of a pattern interrupt, another connector for where they came from, the thumbnail and the title, to what they're about to get into, which I think is really great. And I also want to check out the end of your video because you have some really good opportunities. Okay, good. You're doing exactly what I was hoping, which is you have the playlist shown. Playlists are really key. They become additional items that people can find you for in YouTube. And because you have 19 videos here, you should be playing them or showing them or driving traffic to them at your end screen opportunity, which you are doing here, which is cool. And designing a logo for a YouTube channel, that's great. Love that you have the sort of graphalicious.co.uk on the bottom right-hand side. You can subscribe here, which is great. So cool, you're doing a great job there. Let me click on this video too, just maybe we could get a one more opportunity to describe a hook. Okay, so this is a little bit worrisome, just the fact that it's I get it's the WMW, watch me work, but I think that maybe that sort of splash intro can come in after I know exactly what I'm gonna get in this video, right? Because if I'm coming in here, I'm like, I don't care really who you are or what this is about. I just want to get this information. But a little bit of introduction first about what I'm going to get out of this video, and then the sort of idea of the sort of recurring episode, watch me work, I think is pretty cool. 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. Okay. So this is a, okay, I see what's happening here. So first of all, that intro is not helping you, but I understand it now. This is essentially an over-the-shoulder look at how you design something, right? Probably time-lapsed. Okay, these kinds of videos are eye candy, by the way. Eye candy in a good way, right? Like, people see these things. It's almost like if you see somebody with a ball of clay and they're making something, and it's like every little new move that they do, it's like, what is it? Like, let me see. How do I do that, right? What's up, Nancy? Good to see you here. So we need to get to we should, I think the intro is important to have because you're not talking during the video. But just to watch me work, generic watch me work, is not cutting it, right? Again, for those of you coming in, this is what we saw first. So I would say you could benefit by saying, maybe even just saying straight up what it is. You're watching a time lapse of me designing a logo from scratch in Zara Designer Pro. Stick around to see the end result. Right? Now there's a reason to stick around. Now I know exactly what this program's about, and I can be excited about it if I happen to use Zara, and I can, you've given me the call to action to stay at until the end, which I think is great. So I think that would be really, really cool. This live video will be saved. Yes, it will be saved and will pop up here on YouTube probably in the next hour or so. Andrew, thanks for the review of a few streams ago, Pat. You're welcome, Andrew. Thank you so much. I hope that, and Andrew, cameras, so definitely check them out. I believe. No, not anything cameras. From the guitar. Yes, hand-picking guitar. That's right. Sorry about that. Let's see. I used the same music in the video the other day. Cool. Maya is saying, I'm thinking about doing this with my cake designs. Yeah. So again, the beginning of that video, make sure that you just have a person know why they need to stick around, right? So Watch Me Work is a cool name, but I think that we can have a little bit more incentive up front, if that makes sense, right? I like that. I like that a lot. And you can also probably find other people who are doing something similar where you can get inspiration from to see how they're really hooking people in. That's going to be absolutely key. All right, let's keep going here. Yo, we only got 20 minutes left. How crazy is that? All right, I'm going to find somebody here at random, scrolling up and down, whether it's somebody in the room or not today. Okay, let's see. Who is this? We got Christopher. Christopher from Press Start Leadership. Okay, a little bit of a gaming theme here, which is really cool. I'm a big gamer myself, so I like it. But I want to know, what's this about? Who is it for? Game-changing leadership. Coaching and training for the game industry. Okay. It's dangerous to go alone. So this pop-up came up, but it didn't come up right away. Like, it gave me enough time to read through a little bit, even after sort of talking to you for a little bit and then coming here. So that's not terrible in terms of timing. However, it's terrible because I don't yet know exactly who this is for and what it's about. I know the theme, but I want to know a little bit more, and I'll describe more about what we're talking about, right? But it's dangerous to go alone. The goal to create better leaders, I wanted to share with you these 5 heroic leadership skills which are required to make an effective and successful leader. Great that you have something to offer. Great that I can download that and I could absorb that information. I like the image that you have to go along with it. A lot of people who try to get people into an email list don't have that. However, you're making this about you. I wanted to share with you these 5 heroic leadership skills which are required to make an effective and successful leader. Okay, cool that you want to do that, but what's in it for me, right? So it doesn't matter what you want. What matters is what I want, right? I hope you don't take offense to that, but I'm just being very blunt with you, right? So maybe the paragraph here is discover and download and discover the 5 most important leadership skills that people in the gaming industry should have. Without these, you're going nowhere. Click or subscribe below or get instant access below. And right, and there's a disconnect between what people are getting and what the button call to action is, right? You told me that I'm going to get something, but then you told me to subscribe. And essentially the word subscribe means you're going to send emails. And that's not the big pull here. The big play is, yes, I know you're going to send emails, and yes, I know it's inferred, but you're letting people and reminding them that they're going to get more emails from you. You're taking them away from what it is that they're actually coming here to get. So it should be get instant access or download now or something like that, right? So all that to say, pretty good job. And I like the colors. I like the theme here. The only thing I'm missing, and there's some commentary here about it as well, is that just, I'm feeling a little bit confused on the connection between gaming and leadership, right? Kathy, I think. I don't understand gaming and leadership combo, which to benefit to benefit Christopher here, like, we may not be in his target audience, right? However, even so, we should still make it clear, because part of the job of a website is to go, hey, if this is not you, this isn't for you, right? And if it's something that could be for you, but it's not necessarily sure, then we're not quite there yet, if that makes sense, right? So game-changing leadership, coaching and training for the game industry. For developers, for gamers, right? Is this for me as a gamer? I game on Twitch. Is it for streamers? Is it for people who are in the industry in terms, and when you say in the industry, what do you mean? Are you talking about developers? Are you talking about companies? That's the thing that I'm missing. What's the connection there, right? Coaching and training for the game industry, so that what? That's the other thing about this. So that what? What do we get out of the training, right? What does becoming a better leader lead to? Does it lead to more efficient teams? Does it lead to savings in my company? Does it lead to what? I think that's really important to also mention here too. Leadership, strategy, execution. As a leader in the game industry, okay, again, a leader in the game industry. I'm not necessarily sure what that means. As a developer, is this for indie developers? Is this for people who work at Bungie? For people who work at Epic Games? For people who work at Blizzard, right? Like, I'm looking through, right? The font looks good, though. The message isn't coming through. Exactly, Hey Archer. And Hey Archer is a gamer too, so we're all on the same page there. You want to invest in your team, but how do you justify the cost? Okay. So now this is the first thing that's helping me understand a little bit more. You want to invest in your team, but how do you justify the cost, right? So game-changing leadership, yes, it's inferred that you're leading a team, but maybe it's how to get the most out of your team so that, I don't know, again, still, we need to workshop that a little bit, right? We need to workshop. I like, again, this works very well. The man, the myth, the legend. I have 20 years of experience leading creative product development teams. Okay. So how to lead your creative product and development team. There's some more specificity that I'm looking for. Game-changing leadership. Learn how to get the most out of your product and development team and become the leader that you are meant to be for those people. Or, again, trying to workshop this a little bit, right? But now we're starting to get somewhere, right? I shouldn't have to scroll down to know this is what it's about. Love that you have an image here. These speak very highly. They're a little grayed out, which is fine. You want it to be. They're not supposed to pull people away. They're just supposed to help people go, whoa, this guy's legit. A famous explorer once said that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are, from Laura Croft. I like that. I like a little quote from the game itself. This image here is like the image of a gamer or a developer, right? That's really cool. Let's get started. So, hey, this is where you're pulling me in terms of where we can go from here, which I like. Retreats, workshops, ready to press start. I want to see testimonials from people who worked with you, though. That's the only other thing that's missing here besides the messaging. Love the idea of a download. I'm curious to know what happens when people subscribe. Ready, press start. Start and fill out the application to become one of my VIP clients. Okay. Press start. Press the press start button, right? There's a little bit of a disconnect there. Step 2. I don't know why it's like, I think that having them all in one row could be good because I'm not seeing the press start button. I'm reading this and I don't see where to go. Oh, it's down there. So we can move these all on the same level. Step 2, I will contact you with a link to set up a call if there's space in my client list. If not, I will inform you and put you on my waiting list. Step 3, we have a call to discuss your needs and which package works best for you and your team. Cool. The only other thing is, like, what if I have a team and it's just one person? Is this going to be for me? What if I have a team of 50? Is this, can Can you help me? I don't know. This is where these testimonials can come into play, because you can have a testimonial from more of an indie developer with a couple team members and have it be like, wow, we were able to take a 2-person team and get the output of a 50-person team thanks to Chris's work. Or you know, somebody more on the corporate side saying, yeah, Chris came in and helped us go from, you know, 40% efficiency to 80% efficiency in less than 6 months. So thankful, highly recommended, right? And this is where these things should exist, around the opportunity or the place at which a person's going to start interacting, because asking people to fill out a form, this is your number one call to action. I like that. However, okay, press start, cool. That probably takes me to the same spot. Yep, just let me double check that. Scrolling down, press start. Press start leadership, great feedback. Thank you, I'm glad you're here. Let's see if we're in the right fit to work together. Again, I would have an image of you and the steps here as well, right? Looking forward to meeting you. Again, fill out the form below. I'll follow up with you very soon, and we'll do whatever we can to help you out, right? Because remember, we need to keep that conversation going and remind people about what they're doing here, because there's a lot here, right? I would recommend perhaps a type form situation. Type form is great because you can have people fill out a form and not get so overwhelmed by all the stuff that's coming, and it's just a nicer experience. And the other thing is, you might want to have there could be a way. I don't know. This is a little bit more complicated, but there's a lot of friction here, right? There's 3 things that you want people to fill out before you even get their email. Might there be a way to get the email first and then follow up in an email to have people reply, right? And that way you can follow up even if they don't finish. And what I mean by that is, hey, tell me your name and email below, and I'll follow up with you very soon. They get an immediate email after that says, hey, thank you so much, received. I'll follow up with you up soon. However, I would love to know a little bit more about you. Hit reply here or fill out this form to tell me more about you. Now you've gotten a yes already, and now you're having them be more comfortable and more likely to fill this out. And if they don't fill it out, you can follow up. If they do fill it out, great, right? So just a little bit more info. Now I know that what you're collecting here is probably very convenient. It goes into a Google Sheet or something and can work in your favor. But anyway, just trying to help you out. These application forms are often where most people drop off. We get overwhelmed. We don't have the time to fill this. So this is why I was trying to break it up for you to see what we can do. But I love the layout. It's very clean, just like Funny Comments says. Excellent use of white space, and the balance between the text and the images is just about perfect. Yeah, probably one of the more well-designed websites that we've seen in a while. But again, the messaging is now where we need to focus, right? And again, you have this empty space on the right-hand side to do something, right? Maybe this is where a testimonial comes into play. Or maybe this is a picture of you that goes, hi, I'm Chris. I'm here to take your your product and development team to the next level. Now there's a little bit of context, right? So just wanted to share. But well done. Well done. I like that a lot. How is there only 10 minutes left, y'all? By the way, thinking of my buddy Chris Ducker, who lives in London. Miss you, man. I love you. Okay, let's do 1 or 2 more. This is good stuff. Liking what I'm seeing here. All right, let's scroll a little bit, and I'm going to go into the deep archives here and see if we can find somebody else. All right, we got Bala. What's up, Bala? I love these. These are so random, right? Question Ocean. Wow, okay. So what we're seeing here is something that seems to be a compendium of questions and answers, or just information about a bunch of things. I'm trying to see if there's a theme here, and it looks like there's just, I'm looking at the categories here on the right-hand side: hair, chairs, hair, mattresses. So this is like stuff, and I'm guessing there's like an affiliate play here, right? So if I go to how to turn my futon into a couch, and I scroll down. Likely there is, so I like that you have a table. This is built for SEO, I can tell in the way that it's laid out. Affiliate disclosure right at the top there, so it's like legit. Probably links to the affiliate opportunity. Richard, we want to see if that is indeed important to put there. Let's put a little you, the author. Yeah, so this is tough. This is a tough website because this is a more general website talking about specific items and how they might be able to help people. But it's so general that it's going to be hard to connect, right? I land on this page and I see a C. See what I did there? of all kinds of different things, and I don't yet know where to start, right? You are banking on the idea that a person either, number one, lands on the homepage, and the first two posts here are relevant to what I'm getting into, which is going to be very unlikely, right? So that's going to be tough. And let's scroll down. Yeah. Or you're hoping and banking on the idea of the keyword research, right? So hopefully somebody clicks on how to turn my futon into a couch, and I could scroll down. Futons are very useful when guests come to your home. They are used as guest beds. Okay, futons can be turned into a couch. Yes. What else do you need with a single product fulfills two needs? They can be. So now the hard thing about this is these are things where people, and it looks like you're taking advantage of other people's content here, which is fine. You can embed other people's stuff in here, but this is going to be very tough to compete with. And a lot of times people searching for this kind of information, they just want the answer right away. And you're also sending people away to other people's websites. So it's going to be tough. I would recommend niching down, right? Maybe this becomes all about furniture, right? Like you become the spot that is the place to learn anything and everything about furniture in the home, to make your home look better, to make your life more convenient, more comfortable. Because when you're in that case, then I go, okay, well, I have a home. And now I can relate to each of these articles, and I can find stuff, and I can look around to see things that are interesting to me that maybe I didn't even know about yet, but they still relate to me, versus going through and getting drowned, as Grandma Goody is saying here, in a sea of just knowledge about everything, right? There's a lot of hair things, and maybe that's coming from your own experience because you just happen to know somebody, or maybe you have a writer on the team that's what they experience in. But you are positioning yourself in a very tough position. You're putting yourself in a very tough position here, because right now what people are looking for online are the answers to their specific questions, or people that they can connect with, right? Communities, or places where they can go to learn more about the things that they're interested in. When you just drop all this knowledge about all these different kinds of things in front of people all in the one spot, it's going to be very overwhelming, and you're likely to get people to leave. I would imagine that the bounce rate on your website, meaning people not going from one page to another or not interacting with your website, is going to be quite high. And I guarantee that if you niche down and you become the go-to resource for something, you're going to be more likely to have things happen. And cool other opportunities happen too. Let's say, for example, that you become the ultimate resource for home furniture, right? Anything and everything there is to know about the furniture in your home, how to use it, really interesting items. Now it can dig in, right? This is where opportunities like you connecting with other websites that relate could be really interesting, right? That can bring more people in. Now you could perhaps write for house.com, right? Where you can, like, look, futon, right? Now you could partner with House, who can go, oh, by the way, we don't write blog stuff, but you do. We'll link to your blog post from here, right? Or even if you comment on these things or leave reviews on these different kinds of things, now when people land on your website, it's more relevant, right? You can now insert yourself more into the industry that you're in versus trying to play the role of, Google, right? That's what that's what's going to be a lot easier for you to do. So hopefully that helps. And I'm not going to spend more time on that right now. And I want to get a couple more in. BNS Goku, thank you so much. Completed reading your book, Superfans, today. You have quite a unique style. You're very professional in writing, yet you were so friendly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. And with the books, I found that my style is very personal, very look over my shoulder, very just, hey, let's be in the moment with me. Any of my books have stories about my life, but they teach these lessons, right? And hopefully it was helpful for you. So I appreciate that. Okay. And plus, on that website, you didn't have sort of like, it's just like ocean answers or question ocean. But what about, right? Like, what's the tagline that gets me to go, oh, this is for me, right? The riches are in the niches, exactly. Okay, let's pick, let's see. Okay, we chose that one last week. Let's keep going here. Let's see. All right, did we choose this one already? Yeah, we did. All right, let's go back to this. It's great that I think we've done at least like 50 of these over time, or even closer to 100 perhaps. Or let's go here. Paths Unwritten. by Ben. All right, Ben, we're going to finish here with you today. All right. And Paximus, I see your chat there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to it today. You've had your stuff reviewed before, and I want to make sure we give new people a chance during this time. However, it might come back in the future. Maybe tomorrow we can do some more YouTube-specific reviews, and we can pop you in there. So thank you for understanding. Cool. Grandma Goody says, speaking of books, my signature book just hit its 25th anniversary this summer. It's free on Kindle for 5 days. Might I share it? Yeah, you can do that for sure. Thank you. You deserve it because you've been so helpful here. Cool. Let's check this out. Paths Unwritten, an atlas of lost cities, forgotten spaces, and curious places. Cool. So this is more of like a directory, if you will, of just interesting spaces or interesting places in the world, right? And now I'm curious. Okay, so this is nonfiction, right? Again, I'm a little bit curious about what's in this for me, right? It might be beneficial to go, if you enjoy reading about lost cities, ancient spaces, and abandoned places, this is a place for you to tickle that fancy, right? I wouldn't necessarily say tickle that fancy, but this is definitely an interesting topic. We have to be as clear as possible about what's in it for me, right? All I see is an atlas of, okay, that's cool. So what's the benefit of having this atlas? What is it in it? Even though this is more of an information website, not necessarily like something where you're going to try to collect my email list or sell something, for example, maybe you are indeed going to give me information about how I could travel to these spaces, which might be really cool. Anyway, Paths Unwritten, it piques my curiosity, but it's missing just that little connector to me. For example, if you just call me out as somebody who's just very curious, like for example, I follow a couple Instagram channels on, or Instagram profiles that are about abandoned spaces, because I'm just so intrigued by those stories and like roller coasters that haven't been used for 20 years and nature has taken over, or abandoned hospitals or mental wards. Like those are so interesting to me, right? So this image here does a pretty good job of pulling me in, but the stories behind places that you could take me would be interesting. I mean, I'm just trying to connect it to me a little bit more, so that I know what I'm going to get out of this. Discover, document, and share ancient kingdoms and cultures from around the world, as well as stray curiosities found along the way. Begin exploring and write your own path. So this is where you start talking about me for the first time, but I'm not exactly sure what it's going to do for me, right? Is this going to just like, can I get lost in the stories and these locations from the convenience of my own home, right? Like that's just kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Anyway, let's click on one of these and read one of them. This is a beautiful website, by the way. I want to learn more about you as well, Ben. About Benjamin. This is really cool. The image is quite dark. I would love to see an image a little bit more close up so I can get friendly with you, so I can see you a little bit more. I'm a native Michigander with a passion for human culture and new places, and more than that, new experiences. I have degrees in archaeology and writing, pursuing a career in the latter. However, I never quite lost that passion for archaeological theory. For the past 9 years, I've been living and traveling in Asia, documenting ancient sites and the people who built them, and then adapting them into practical archaeological travel information at Paths Unwritten. Wow, okay, awesome. This is really cool. This is giving me more information about what I can get here, right? Which I absolutely love. So I would say that pulling that on the homepage would be really interesting. Just this last part here really spoke to me, right? So paths being like, you know, I've traveled to places in ancient, I've traveled to lost cities, forgotten spaces, and curiosity places, and I've written them here so you can travel with me too, or so, like something of in that realm, right? I really love that. Let's go back to the About Me page. Cool. Let's read a blog post, really kind of see how your writing style is. I would imagine that these things become really cool. And what's really cool about this is you can find other people who have talked to, or travel bloggers, or people who have gone to these spaces, YouTubers, and you can work with them, you can connect with them, you can collaborate with them. So let's go to Ancient China's Hanging Coffins and the Forgotten Genocide of the Bo People. Wow, beautiful. Look at this image. You're pulling me into the story. Love that. What is that? I don't know what this is for. Probably pulling me down the page. Archaeological Travel Guide to the Hanging Coffins of Sichuan, or the Last Remains of the Bo, a people who were exterminated by China's Ming Dynasty over 500 years ago. Cool. Scrolling down. Fast facts. Cool. I like that you have the fast facts there. Cost. What does this cost for? I'm curious. I would say that the text could be a little bit bigger. Whose site is this again? This is a person named Ben, who is here in, or who had recently included his information here. The text needs to be bigger. I would say size 13 or 14 font is going to do you a big favor, right? Like the font here, so easy to read. This is probably a little bit too big for the paragraphs. I think that's size 16 or maybe even 18. And then this here is quite small. It really hurts the ear. And I would imagine potentially people who are reading this are going to be a little bit of an older demographic. So we need that. We need to pay attention to that. Love the images here as well. Content. So you go all out, which is really amazing, right? Pictures. This is really fantastic. Yeah. Maybe you have a smaller font because you don't want it to be something that is long, but I would have it. It's okay that it's longer. So you have all the best information about this, right? Which is really cool. So let me scroll up again. China's hanging coffins, right? I just want to see where you rank, or if you rank for any of this stuff, because how you've written about this is very, very. Look at that second page, yo, second page. So what I would do. So grateful for everything you've taught me and the community you've built here. Thank you, Nathan. Here's what I would do. To get more traffic to your website, this is the perfect opportunity. When you are on the second page of Google, you are so close to getting massive traffic for free on the first page of Google. So let's figure out, maybe even hire somebody or do a little bit of work if you haven't already on specifically how to make this the best page for SEO for this term, right? China's hanging coffins. You're on page 2 for that, which is really amazing. And I would imagine with the extensive writing and research that you do, you definitely have the capability to outrank any other page on the internet about this kind of stuff, right? So I don't know. I'm not an SEO expert, if you will. However, I would say that if you have the ability to share these pages a little bit more, that would go a very long way. The fact that these are very long works in your favor because it adds to the time on site. Fun, fast facts. Okay, so yeah, probably the cost to actually take advantage of and use these things. Shareable images, right? These fun, fast facts. I like the idea of having those maybe up front and have people share them really quick. Might there be a way for people who end up getting to the bottom of this page to help share it on their social media? All I saw was just some small little grayed out images about sharing this. You've earned the right at this point, Ben, to ask for something from your audience who's here, gathering this information from you. You are creating a Wikipedia about all these amazing spaces. This would even be a good opportunity for you, Ben, to connect with other people, like I said, on Instagram or these other places on YouTube who have these really amazing channels of people who just absolutely love this kind of stuff. How might you provide them value? How might you offer something, maybe images or some really cool stories that they could put and embed on their channels to point people back to you, right? So I think that this is really, really, you have a big opportunity here with the amount of content, with the extensive research that you put into it that a lot of other people are not going to have. And being on the second page of Google, I would focus on seeing what you can do to outrank those who are on page number 1. You can get a lot of free traffic coming to your site. So, yeah, as Michael here is saying, don't worry about making people scroll if you're making it so people are clicking that back button because they cannot read your content, right? Exactly. So hopefully we can get people to keep reading down the page, make that font a little bit bigger. That will help. And keep up the good work. So, hey, y'all. Woo! Thank you so much. I appreciate you today. We had a lot of fun reviewing a number of different spaces. We're going to come back tomorrow. If you want to pop in your website or YouTube channel or sales page, patflynn.com/review is where you want to go to do that. And hey, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Stay well. Enjoy. Have some relaxing time for you and those who are around you. And I just want to encourage you to come back tomorrow. So 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to do more website reviews and channel reviews and sales page reviews. This has been a lot of fun. And Jonathan says, This was written on June 10th, and it's already ranking on page 2. Awesome. Yes, indeed. You're doing a good job. Save like a bear. No worries. Appreciate you. And hopefully this was helpful for you. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Let's come in tomorrow. Bring your friends, too. We're going to have some fun, and we'll review more websites then. Thank you so much. Take care. And as always, Team Flynn for the win. Peace out, y'all.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired. Required the income stream with Pat Flynn.
By the way, if you haven't checked it out, I'll show you tomorrow since we're talking about websites. But the new SwitchPod website has been up. And we now have stock. We're in stock now. So switchpod.co if you want to check that out. Not sponsored. It's one of my other companies. But anyway, thanks so much. Team Flynn for the win. Bruh.